Hello? Am I live? I believe I'm live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another roasting stream. I made the mistake of wearing a blue shirt and then, here, I need to check one thing in my streaming settings. Is the stream looking good for everyone? Or is there like some weird lagging issues? Because I changed some, settings like a few days ago and I forgot to change them back, so hopefully it's not like fucking with the stream. It's back? All right, sick. Hopefully that's all. Here, I'm gonna turn off the Wi-Fi on my shit so that there's no weird issues. All right, sick. Okay, so might as well just jump right into it. We got 22 submissions, so there's still 3 more slots for anyone joining new. Let me put a little post, or actually everything should be in the description. Let me just make a little post. Submissions. All right, sick. So we're gonna get started with Hickam Lasto or Cretool. Anything specific looking for feedback on? Eating dust, and does the music sound empty? What should I do to fill it in? I don't know what the eating dust part is about. So, but yeah, let's check it out. Shatter. So far, so good. What the fuck? I like everything except for like the tonality of the leads, like the glitches. Just sounds kind of off. Like it's just not a lot of depth to it. It just feels kind of random. Like the sub, the drums, the pad in the background is all pretty. So it feels pretty clean and full. Like there's more you could do, like add in little textures and ear candy. But for the most part, everything's filling up the frequency range. It's just kind of questionable, like the glitches. Yeah, what Nico said. Try running the glitch through Serum Effects comb filter or something. Just, yeah, it needs like a different tonality, and it just sounds so, like, I guess like one-shotty. Okay, this part's cool. That's a really cool progression of it. It does sound like maybe that vocal hit is out of key though. Either that or it's just way too dry and you want it sitting a bit back in the mix with some reverb. I do like how the glitch evolved. This part's fire. I'd say your snare can hit a little, like just be a little fatter. Just some more saturation. Maybe some really subtle like delay or some sort of stereo effect on it, like in parallel. And then I'd say overall, in terms of fullness, so like all of this sounds pretty clean, but it feels almost too like, what would be the word? I don't know, it's like just too squeaky, I guess. Like I feel like you need a few kind of rough, noisy textures just in the background, just to like some, whether it's like some subtle white noise or just like, I don't know, like this part, everything's just really clean and wet, and you kind of want a bit of a range of texture, and that'll just give the illusion that things are fuller and just give some cool little ear candy just in the background and in the sides, beyond just the bass, the drums, and the lead. Yeah, because it's like it's just so obvious. You can point out all the different elements, like the kick, the snare, the pad in the background, the leads, the bass. So yeah, just sprinkle some, like, I don't know whether you want to do glitches, it's just like white noise stuff, some just textures, I don't, but like, yeah, that would help it feel more full. But overall, it's pretty clean and full. It's just things like that will make it a little more interesting. And yeah, I think the glitches in the beginning needs to be changed a bit. Also, yeah, it's like that little melody thing right before the drop. It feels too much of a contrast between the tonality of that and then the tonality of the glitches used in that first section of the drop. So, yeah, that's all I have for feedback on that one. Welcome everybody else just joining. What up, Red, Beanie God, Axiom, Poutine, man. Let's go. I love poutine. All right, so okay, just so everybody knows, we just hit the 25 submission mark. There's one person who submitted after 25. I believe it was, oh, Poutine Man. I'm sorry. So yeah, you did not make the cut. So you're either going to have to super chat and then we'll get you in here, or like if things move by a lot quicker than normal, then there might be time for you at the end. But I do the 25 song cap just because usually around 25 it's like 2.5 to 3 hours of feedback, so it gets a bit much. Next we got Furlight. I fuck with Furlight. I believe Furlight just dropped an album as well. And for feedback, they just want feedback on Big Chungus. Beat VIP. Thanks, Roll. This is an interesting intro. It's really distorted and broken feeling. I'm assuming that's on purpose though. I'd say it's too clipped. And it needs some sort of pad in the background or atmosphere in the background to kind of, it's like if it's so clipped and crunchy and dry, so it needs something kind of wet and dreamy to help balance out the just crunchy dryness, in my opinion. This kind of goes off. Oh, that's tight. I mean, Duraxis says it's a funny trap, So I don't know how serious Furlight wants me to be going with the feedback. Ooh. I think some of the stop-start is like too drastic, at least in the beginning. Yeah, very huge and cool and swag. I like that though. That's a vibe. Definitely, like I said, there's parts where I think the clipping isn't necessarily too much, but it needs like a unclipped element to kind of balance it out so it's not so harsh to the ear. But that's a vibe, especially all the vocals added in and some of those like switches. That's fucking heat. Definitely want to hear some more Furlight trap. That's fire. All right, next we got Destiny. Short Circuit with 0 Day. Whip 4. Nothing specific they need feedback on. Oh, this is a good start. Oh, what is going on with the snare there? What the fuck is that? Okay, so your kick is overpowering your snare with the kick clap. I generally, that kick sounds like it has too much boom when it's under the clap. Generally, when I do kick claps, I don't know if you're an Ableton. If you're not an Ableton, just use a transient shaper for this. But in Ableton, I usually put it on the beat warp mode and then transient one-shot mode. And I bring down the length of the transient so that you got to find like a balance where the kick you still get the punch of the kick, but there's just like some of the boom taken away so that your snare still gets a lot of room to breathe. That's generally what I do. So basically then I have my kick, and then when my kick clap happens, my kick's just a little bit shorter. But on top of that, the snare might need some more layers or something because it just sounds like noise being overpowered by the kick. There's not enough progression.
Zero Day. Get off my.
I think that new sound being added in, the wow, needs to be louder, a little more saturated in your face in the high end. I'm not really feeling this one. It feels, I don't know, it just doesn't get you, it doesn't really like suck you in. It just gets kind of mundane a little bit, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it definitely needs some hats. And everything feels a little bit muffled, like your sub, or like just your low end in general, is a little too loud, and it's just kind of overpowering the high end.
Zero Day.
This is better. That needs a better fill right there. Okay, that second drop was a bit bouncier, a bit groovier. I'd redo the first drop with a little more of like, I don't know, just take some of the tech, like the, I don't know how to explain, but just look at the second drop and see what you can pull from that to implement into the first drop. All right, we got Spacey with Random. Beautiful song name. Dynamic Sick. Yeah, you gotta be careful with the way you clip stuff. Like I feel like a lot of people just put like a clipper right on the master, and well, one, if you're clipping things, your mix down needs to be really, really clean, because if it's not, all the frequency clashing that's going on when you clip it, it's going to be like accentuated, and it's going to start causing clipping in ways you don't want. And then on top of that, like really look into clipping individual elements like in groups rather than just clipping everything into the master. Like clip, I don't know, your drums together with the sub, or click, I mean, it all depends on the song, but just clipping in individual groups rather than just shoving everything into one clipper usually gives you that dope clipping sound, but it's overall like cleaner at the same time. Okay, this needs more sub. It's with songs like this, especially when the tonality is like mostly resonating in the high end, you really need a fat sub to fill everything in underneath.
Talk up, speak up, say what you say.
I think the sound design is sick, but the tonality of it, like the melody, especially right here, sounds off. And it's also just kind of hard to tell because since the sub isn't like hitting loud enough, it takes out some of that energy. So like sometimes weird kind of, I don't know, atonal feeling melodies like this can work if everything around it is like hype enough. But because the sub isn't there, it's hard to tell if it would still like go off live, you know? So I don't know. That melody is just a little iffy, but main thing, sound design's sick. Everything's so far, like, I mean, it's just part of a drop. So there's not too much feedback I can give, but it's definitely going in the right direction. Just make sure your sub's louder, more saturated. Yeah, it needs punchy low end. Exactly what Nico said. Huge contrast between the Reese and the main synth is pretty off-putting. I didn't notice that. Let me re-listen. Actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you definitely need to beef up the Reese a bit, because the Reese is like a lot more mellow. Like it has like the movement, and the movement in it is like equally energetic, but the actual the grit and texture and lack of high end compared to those really piercing tear out sounds definitely creates a weird contrast. All right, we got Beanie God in the building with Jedwill Garden Remix. Hell yeah, I love Jedwill. Dr. Crawfish. Oh my gosh. All right. Jedwill Garden Beanie God Remix. That's so weird. But it worked. I think like the sustained, like I don't know, the melody gets a little weird because you just kind of sustain one note for a few bars before you change it up. And so I'm having a hard time figuring out if if that sounds good in the sense of like it's building kind of a tension and then you resolve it. I don't know. It's like weird, but it's really bouncy, so it still gets you into it. But I don't know. I think I would experiment with maybe trying out some melodies and not just keeping that one note sustained for so long. But I don't know. I feel like it still kind of works. Also, I think throughout the whole song, your snare could peek through a little bit more in the mix. Needs a response to the call, yeah. But for like a little bootleg, this is pretty dope. I don't know if this is like this in the original song, but the vocals kind of getting drowned out. It might, if it's like that in the original song, though, there's not much you can do. The drums are solid though. Even though I'm not like super hooked on the melody, it's just so bouncy. I'd make that glitch you have in the background, like in the right side, that needs to be a bit louder. It's like too subtle. And also, I'd look into maybe, since you kind of did this in the first drop, maybe do some like, I don't know, like take like glitch 2 or something, put it on the rhythm leads, and do some like weird little scratches or pitch bends or just glitches. I feel like that could spice up the drop a bit more. I dig it though. Some good old hyper rhythm. All right, that was Beanie God. Next we got Wobble Ice. Oh shit, Wobble Ice and Primal Rights. Big tune. I didn't know this existed. Since me and Primal are fans of Genshin Impact, we both decided to make separate parts, both based on our favorite characters, and then tried to transition it as best as we could. So if you're wondering why the drops are completely different vibes, that was the whole plan. All right, I will keep that in mind. I don't know shit about Genshin Impact. I'm assuming Storm Rose is like from the game.
What? Me? A grand mage? That was a long time ago.
Okay, so right off the bat, the pads and stuff are really clashing with the vocals. You need to scoop out some room for the vocals in the pads.
I'm just a humble librarian now. I'll take very good care of you.
Lift. Lift.
I'd put an impact there. That dry kick is just too dry. You need an impact layered. Or maybe a hold down sweep.
such a brute.
Okay, and then so there's a giant like contrast between the build in terms of loudness and high end versus the leads of the drop.
A brute.
Like, you never want the build to feel louder and brighter than the drop, because then it makes the drop just not hit nearly as impactfully as it could.
Don't be such a brute.
Oh, yo, thanks, Red. That's really nice of you. All right, Poutine Man, you'll be next. It's mainly this lead. This lead is just kind of weak. It's cool. Like, the melody is dope, the sound design's dope, but it needs a little bit more high and a bit more oomph, especially compared to, like I said, the build. And even there's a fill, I think, right here. Right there. Like, that fill has so much more, like, in your face high end and saturation on it than the little color bass.
You've been a naughty boy.
And sometimes I know with like color bass sounds like that, the way that they're processed, it might be hard to fix that. So what you might need to do is add like a kind of more high end heavy layer to it.
Hey.
Don't worry, darling.
Other than that though, it's really sick. And that laser thing you have layered is all the fake out.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, that's sick. I fuck with that. I like how you have the tear out alternating with the color bass. That's sick. But yeah, you just need to work on the mixing of the tear out leads and the color bass. They're just not punchy and just in your face enough in the high end compared to everything else.
No need to fear it on the open ocean, so there's even less need to fear it on dry land. We're setting sail.
Sick tag.
Men, to your posts. A new adventure is about to begin.
I also think there needs to be like a subtle white noise down sweep there as well. It gets like too empty too quickly. It's just kind of a little weird. I don't know. It's not like a big deal, but I think just a subtle down sweep would help right there.
A new adventure is about to begin.
Okay. Same thing with this lead though. It needs to be more saturated, in my face, a little more high end.
I'm always ready.
Especially compared to how loud the sub is. But the flow is fire.
Just a little light.
That part was a little weird.
Dry land for so long. No need to fear it on the open.
Yeah, those leads just aren't punchy and like loud and bright enough. They're kind of getting swallowed by the sub.
Setting sail. It's hard to remain on dry land for so long. It's hard to remain on dry land.
I'd see if you can change the vocal. That kind of ruined the progression. Because it just, I don't know. Sometimes using the same vocal a lot in a drop works. But because there's so much focus on the vocal, it just starts to feel like the drop's repeating.
It's hard to remain on dry land.
Like in a bad way.
No need to fear it on the open ocean.
I like this pad or piano or strings playing in the background. I'd honestly make them a little louder. The way they automate up though is a little weird. I'd have the automation less like pronounced, like just more subtle all the way through, and maybe have them start out a little bit louder.
Setting sail.
But overall, that's sick. I really like the theme of it. Um, the way it breaks down into that different drop actually works, and it definitely helps to have this as the context. But overall, great ideas in song. It's mainly just the mixing that needs work. So, fucking actually a dope song. I really like that. All right. Okay, we got Piss Country coming up. This is brand new collective that has spawned on my server, creating beautiful next level new wave genre defying country EDM.
Information, making me question
Oh my god.
our relation to the nation, all religion, supersonic.
I'm not gonna give any feedback, we're just gonna enjoy this horrible journey for a second.
My existence can't resist us. Clearly, I find myself living inside
The drums could be
of a shell.
fungier.
All of these pages can't help. Got all my introspect mirrors, they don't reflect all of the things that we do. This is Mater the Tow Truck Dubstep. Woo! Piss Country.
This is the best country music I've ever heard.
You know, when this feller Nico came up to me and he said, "Hey man, let's make a country dubstep song." I said, "What
Yeah,
the
no,
hell
there's
is that?"
nothing anyone
He
could
told
add to
me,
improve it. It's
"We're
perfect.
gonna combine the elements of dubstep and country." And I said, "What the hell is dubstep?" And he showed me, and I was disgusted. But after he mentioned country dubstep, I said to myself,
Okay, I'm gonna skip that, but that's definitely like this is the next wave, guys. You better hop on Piss Country before it's too late. Next we got 19 with they said what the song doing though. Let's find out. I'm sorry, Duncan. We got a lot of tunes to get through. Those vocoded leads are too like thin. It's a common issue I see when people try to do like the vocoded color base style of like sound design is it ends up being like too watery and small, so you either need more layers or you just need to figure out how to beef it up a bit more. Like the mid range is really lacking. Also, using just the sustained sub like that kind of gets boring. So I just maybe do a different rhythm or figure out some interesting ways to modulate the sub. Either that or, like I said, like if you can fill up that frequency spectrum a bit more with other sounds or different layers being added to the vocoded part, that helps as well. Also, the snare is a little bit too short. Since it's being used as a kick clap, you kind of want it to have a little more of a tail, because the transient of the kick, if the transient of the snare is like almost as short as the transient of the kick. It just merges together and just feels like a punchier kick instead of giving the variation that a snare tail would provide. Okay, actually, now that I hear it, the snare does have a tail. I think it just needs like another layer that's like more white noise. This is starting to flow a bit better though. I think you just need to work on filling up those leads, because just that kind of high-end vocode feeling, or it might be convolution reverb or whatever you're using for it, it's just too thin. It's not enough. Yeah, exactly what Dr. Lobster said. Or like when you do stuff like this, sometimes it works to layer chords underneath it because super saws fill up a lot of the spectrum. And so using super saws with interesting filters or interesting processing, using the same chords that you're using for the vocoder, or I can't completely tell if it's vocoded or just like resonated or something like that, but yeah. The snare here is really weak, and there's no like hi-hats or percussion going on, so it feels really empty. And then the ARP, and I think you have like a pad layered with it, it's kind of muddy and taking up a lot of space from the drums. Like there's a lot of like low-end mud, and it's even in the sides, so I would EQ all that out. Some mid-side EQ. Some high-end harshness. Yeah, the bounciness is there, but again, it's just the same issue like I said in the first drop. All right, well, hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, just work on kind of doing more than just vocoding it or whatever you're doing. There's all sorts of dope like color-based techniques and stuff out there on YouTube, and you can ask around in the Rushdown server, stuff like that. I'm sure there'll be people that can help you kind of fill that up a bit. All right, we got RTX with discount Space Laces. The full song is better, but it's just not released yet, so this is what you get. All right. Mom, can we have this? No, there's no space. Beautiful. Why is there just a bunch of silence?
You got 64 and it's when I've gone boss.
Ow, holy fuck, dude. You need to control the high end. And it needs way more of a sub. It sounds like a fucking, it's just like in a phone, like the phone EQ or whatever. Oh my god, what is happening? This just needs a fucking Fletcher Mudson curve on the whole entire master. I can't really give more feedback on that because it hurts to listen to for more than like 2 seconds. I don't know how you even made this. without just breaking your ears. Like fix the high end and fill out the sub more and then send it back and I can give like more detailed feedback. Ow. All right, we got Kestriel up next. Good enough whip for the Dyadic Alien Zone contest. Let's go.
Welcome to the Alien Zone Jazz Bar.
Okay, more high-end issues.
Here you can order
Y'all people need Soothe 2 in your lives.
all your favorite out of this world snacks and listen to some of the finest jazz music. Up next on stage we have the marvelous Kestriel and his extraterrestrial track.
Ooh, this is a vibe. But yeah, a lot of distortion going on here due to the clipping, and I know you like to clip your shit, but you need to EQ your stuff better so that it clips in the right way. Can we put out a statement for the whole internet saying not to use that TTS ever again? Okay. That like the distorted 808 feeling sub type thing needs a more full beefy like low end. It's got the distortion there in the mids, but the low end doesn't kind of meet it at the same level, if that makes sense. It's like almost too distorted. I would just kind of high pass that and layer it with just a really beefy saturated sub underneath. Also, the saxophones or just the brass hits, whatever instrument it is, there's too much variation in the volumes of them. Yeah, I mean, and also what Dr. Lobster said, I mean, I think it can work if it's just a little better mixed and processed, but it is a pretty basic sub. Those are just, I don't know, it's like the most basic form of a distorted sub. This part's sick, but a lot of frequency clashing. Yeah, it's getting extremely muddy and a lot of harsh frequency. Oh, I like the bird call in there. That vocal could be louder. The arrangement, though, throughout all of this is really good. I think what this sub needs, like the distorted, or well, I guess it's not completely a sub, just what the bass needs is, if you want to keep it like this, I think it can work. You just might want to have some like fun like notch filtering or just like some creative EQing to kind of give it one, like take away some of the high end on it, and then just give it kind of more character. You do some creative like EQ peaks and notches and then distort after that. I think that could give it some just a more interesting kind of timbre and feel. Duncan said for distorted subs, you need to EQ out the first few harmonics and boost the sub frequency. Because if you don't EQ out the first few harmonics, it clashes with the sub frequency. Once you EQ out the first couple of harmonics, it gets way fatter. Or Cubic, read this, it's useful. Yeah, that's something I do all the time. It's like right after the 100 hertz range, like within 100 and 200 hertz. You just got to find it. Like you put a peak and scan through it, and there's always, depending on the sub and the notes being played, there's always this like sweet spot where if you pull it down, it like makes everything feel fatter. I love this part. I like the reggae vibes here. Also, I just remembered, I forgot to do Poutine Man, so Poutine Man is up next. But yeah, great ideas, great song. It's just your mixing. You need to work on your mixing, especially if you're gonna clip everything like that, because harsh frequencies and things clashing. So just gotta get really good. Like I said earlier, if you're clipping everything like that, you have to make sure everything is occupying its own frequency space and not clashing with each other, because the clipping is just gonna amplify any errors in the mix. All right, we got Gotti with Benzene, aka Poutine Man. Wait, let me see what feedback they wanted. What should I add / fix if needed? Got you. Shout out to Roll the Red for donating for him. Oh, I need to turn that up. I think the kick sounds like it's like clipping a little bit, or there's something weird about the kick. Like it's like a little too saturated or distorted. I can't tell. The noise on that sub, or maybe just the loudness of the sub drop in general, I think can be lowered a little bit. Now the sub's too loud. It's kind of distorting a little. And that kick sounds like it might be clashing with something. Yeah, and there's just too much that sub's like kind of causing everything to clip a little bit. I'd lower the sub drop and then maybe even do some maybe like dynamic EQing on it, because you don't want that much like just fullness in the build, because then it'll take away from the impact of your drop. I think the pre-drop feels a little too empty. There's something about the way that the drop is arranged that's like throwing me off. I think those sounds, the boom bum bum, those sound good, but then the response to that just feels kind of thin and lacking. Like there's just too much of a contrast of the impact on it. So it just needs to be probably saturated a bit more. Yeah, I think there's just something about the rhythm of the boom bam bam that it just feels off. Like maybe the swing is different from all the other elements. I can't tell. I don't know. Do you guys notice it? Let me check chat. Oh, it is? Drop flow's fantastic. I don't know. There's something weird thrown. I can't figure it out. Whatever. I guess it's subjective. I'm just having trouble grooving to it. I think it's just like how sporadic the rhythm of the I don't know what that would be called. It's like somewhat of a tear out lead. Like how it changes from boom bam bam to boom bam bam bam. That was a cool fill. Yeah, there's just like a few rhythms here and there that kind of throw me off. Also, I think some of the effects in the background might be a little too loud. Also, this bridge part feels louder than the actual drop. So I'd make it so, I mean, even look at the waveform, like here, the intro is louder than the drop. So I would make sure that you have everything leveled so that the drop is the loudest part of the song. Oh, this is a cool build. There's just some like subtle low-end mud in there that I'd mess with, just some mid-side EQing, but that build's cool. I like that like thunder crack type snare. Oh, what? This one's hard for me to give feedback on. That's very experimental. So it's hard to judge like experimental ideas like that because it's very subjective, and I definitely appreciate experimentation. But I don't think it completely works, but I can't tell what about it is causing it not to work. I think maybe the sub needs more groove, like some pulsating or something, and then maybe the percussion things need less low end, or like, I don't know. Yeah, some vocals would make the intro. Maybe the sub needs to just be louder? It just feels like there's a bit of a hole right in the middle in the like 150 to 500 range, I'm guessing. This is definitely a cool idea though. It grew on me going through it, and you have some really cool glitches and fills throughout. I think the biggest thing is your mixing, and then there's some weird rhythms in the drop that I think just need a little finesse to make sure it's more cohesive of a flow. But overall, really cool experimental stuff. I generally don't like mid-tempo, but this had some cool stuff in it. All right, let me get back to the original order. We were at, let's see, Mariko, or Makiriko. With Dusk. Nothing specific, just any feedback. Got you. What up, Radon? There's some low-end mud in the sides from that pad. I do some mid-side EQing and just make sure that the percussion has a little more space to breathe. Also, it's a little too empty. I'm never really been a fan of like sections in songs where there's a kick, but there's nothing around the kick, so it's just like a dry kick. Just not ever been into it. So personally, I would fill it up more or have some sort of impact or like a different type of percussion element instead of a kick for that build, like a timpani. Not a fan of that snare. I would change the snare. And yeah, nothing is really building tension in the build beyond the drums. So you need some sort of riser, or there's just something, you need a new element right around this section. Like when the kick comes in, you need to have some sort of element to kind of fill things in and then start building tension in the build, because the drums aren't enough. Okay, I hear what you're going for, but first off, the way that is, like, that should be just a sub. There should be another layer on it, and that sub is stereo in a weird way. So that needs some mid-side EQing, and then it's too quiet. But just overall, just listening to it and how clear your drums are, and then that like kind of tells you that there's a big layer. I mean, throughout the whole song, it's like if you put a spectrum analyzer on your master, you'd see a big gap in certain sections of the frequency spectrum. And even if you're trying to be eerie and atmospheric and keep it kind of empty like that, you still do have to fill up the spectrum. You just have to do it in a way that still caters to that kind of dark, empty feeling. Yeah, and there's definitely clipping going on with the kick fundamental and the snare fundamental, especially when it's a pan snare like that. Like, it depends on the snare, and there's things you can do to get away with still having those layered together, but this one, it's not working for this. Yeah, okay, it started off as roasting because I was just trying to figure out a better way. Like, I just didn't want to be like feedback stream. And so, an issue I have with a lot of feedback streams is they aren't like honest and critical enough, in my opinion. So I went with roasting, but then people thought I was actually roasting, but I wasn't. And so I don't know. But then I already started calling it roasting your tracks. So I don't know a better name. I don't want to just be like feedback. But yeah, it's supposed to be just general honest feedback. Critiquing your tracks. Maybe I'll change it to that. Yeah. It can be in stereo in that weird way. You just want to use a mid-side EQ to adjust where where it's like mono and where it's stereo. Like, it sounds like the stereo is a little too low. And then that new layer is way too quiet. So you need that to be a little more saturated in your face. But in general, this just needs more content beyond just that sub. The like rhythm and flow of it though is good. I see where you're going for. Yeah, I mean, even that, you listen to this part versus the drop, it's way more full. And this part is pretty empty. So you just need to work on filling out the frequency spectrum, doing some more layering, or just, I don't know, the way you're processing the sub and just how everything's leveled. It's just there's obvious like gaps in the mix. So you need to fix those. But it's a good foundation. So keep it going. Let me read chat real quick. People shouldn't submit their tunes expecting compliments. Critique stream brutally honest. I think I'm just do brutally honest feedback streams or critique streams, critiquing your tracks. Cause yeah, I don't want to give people the cause I don't know. I don't know improv enough to be able to just like roast people's tunes. And I feel like I'm too nice. All right, next we got Roll the Red. I know you wanted to record it, so here, I'm going to take a quick water break, and I need to clean the fog out of my glasses, so I'll be right back. All right. I just realized I don't have my waveform playing like usual. So while Cubic's gone, Obama's last name is... Oh, you got this, Makiriko. I mean, we all start somewhere. Just keep sending stuff for feedback, and I'll try to help you as best as I can. All right, so Roll the Red. Are you ready? Oh, do one before you? Okay. We will go with D's Nuts. Okay. Not by any Royks, but cooler. Porter Robinson falls down the stairs. That's fucking amazing. Because I was so short, someone else will get to be in the queue. That's fucking great. I fucking love that. We got Nico. Let's go. This is my actual submission. Cubic, please give feedback because I want to release this. All right, Nico with Terra. Oh, I love some good brace. Okay, the kick's distorting in a weird way. Or it like has some space on it. I don't know how well that works. What the? Okay, dude, holy shit. I think the sub can be either EQ'd or turned down just a smidge, because it's just overpowering the lead just a tiny bit. Either that or maybe just do some stuff to the lead. Yeah, I'd say like maybe the sub just needs to be filtered a little bit more, or just EQ some stuff out of it. Also, there's a fill in there. I forgot where it was, but I think the fill might have been like a little too quiet. Oh, the growl. I feel like the growl could be a little more full. And yeah, the kick is doing that thing again. I don't know what exactly you're doing the kick there, but I just don't completely think it works. It is a cool way though to create some variation and contrast. Yeah, more and more I'm seeing the subs like just a little way too overpowering, but the switch up here, it sounds like it's like a Huke sub, but there's like too much going on for it to be taking up that much space. Or like a Joyride sub. Also, I think some of the vocal hits in the background could be a little louder. I think that riser could be a little quieter. There's not a Kudo music, unfortunately. We are fully up. Fully filled up. Fully filled up. Why can't I speak? You can always donate though. Just send it in a super chat and you can skip the line. Tempo change. See, it works better in this drop because the stub is not being sustained as long compared to like this. And so it's not taking up as much space. But like, especially during this drop, it's like just way too, like, I guess like harmonically full. Yeah, also what Red just said, I think Roller Red might be right as well. It could be YouTube or SoundCloud compression, but yeah, there's a crash or open hi-hat in the left side that might be taking up a little too much space. Yeah, I'd just turn it down a little bit probably. Also, I mean, this definitely has some like Butte Noise vibes, but I don't think it sounds like his song on Malignant. That down sweep is too loud. I love this though, but yeah, down sweep way too loud. Like, let that break shine. That's a fun way to end it though. Really sick flow and sound design, but yeah, just the sub and few things here and there in terms of leveling. All right, we're going back to you, Red. So, this is You Can't Diss Me. Beautiful album art. And it's your epic lyrics. All right. Let's fucking go.
You know who it is. You know who it is. Yeah. I'm a barium. Nah, I'm a barium. I'm kissing on the lips to air. You thought was a good stuff. Now I'm gonna stare at them. Making them comfortable. Yeah, that's how.
Wait, did you want feedback on this? Or are we just experiencing it?
I'm a barium. Nah, I'm a barium. I'm kissing on the lips to air. You thought was a good stuff. Now I'm gonna stare at them. Making them comfortable. Yeah, that's how I bury them. You can't diss me. I'm gonna come up
The drums are not punchy enough.
Rap slaps and I got crap in my ass. I'm come back after I take a shit, then I'm gonna rap. Gonna rap. Lyrical spiritual individual. 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 Gonna rap. Lyrical spiritual individual. Lyrical spiritual individual. Lyrical spiritual individual. Lyrical spiritual individual. Lyrical spiritual individual.
I think those like... Wait, I don't know if I'm supposed to be giving real feedback on this. This is fucking great. Ear rape. Someone sign this, man. This is amazing. I can't believe how long this goes on. The fucking reverb swells. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna rap and it's gonna be off in tempo, but that's okay because it's gonna be a good fun.
I don't know how you do this. This is a masterpiece. This is when you put Soothe 2 on the master and you turn the depth all the way to like 200%. Future alternative cyber rhythm.
Torture cubic at the last minute. Really gotta pee, that's okay. Cause I got a history going in and talk about my wee. Gonna go pee. I'm gonna rap and this is gonna go heat on the beat. Watch me beat my meat and I'm doing it and I'm rapping on the street. Really
Watch me beat my meat.
Track and I'm trapping. Trap. Skirt. Lyrics, skirt. Torture. Makes it to the torture stream events. Gonna be great. That's my song. Thanks for listening.
Alright, let's do this.
Open up Parmer.
No. No. This needs some hyperpop vocals. You could grill a hot dog on this beat. That was so hot. I'm surprised this live stream didn't get like just a huge surplus of new viewers because of how insane that was. Holy shit. All right. Well, we got qbikmusik. If you want to just send your submission to the link in the description, and then I'll just do yours next. But that was amazing, Roller Red. You have once again completely blown my mind, turned it into oatmeal, and I don't think I'll ever be able to make music as amazing as that. Boom bag, trap clap, triple chap, open that cyberpunk mid-tempo side trance melodic. Oh Jesus. Okay. Let me know when you send it, Akudo. Avli, I'm sorry, I butchered your name, but usually feedback streams are on Sundays at 6 p.m. or Sundays at 3 p.m. It just depends, because we have so many people in different time zones. I want to change the time around, but in general, you can expect feedback streams to be on Sundays, and generally around 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Moving forward, I'll always announce it a day before so that everybody has like forewarning. You missed your song, Destiny. It's like near the beginning of the stream. All right, got you next, Akudo. Thank you so much for the donation. A.Way collab melodic MP3 final. Beautiful title. A vial. My bad, I butchered that. So far, this is pretty. This is a sick logo. I'm not a fan of the kick. I would change the kick to a more kind of thumpier, not as like bright and punchy transient. I feel like that would work a little better with the kind of future garage vibe. Oh, this is beautiful. I love that. That breakdown was fire. You do have a few things going on in the high end, especially this sound. Alright. Oh fuck, I missed it, but that high pitch like ching in the background, that has a little bit too harsh frequencies, and then when it's layered with this sound, it just adds a little more. So I just do some subtle EQing in the very high end. So far though, this is pretty good. What the? Bro, this is sick! I have like no feedback. What the fuck? I don't know if I just got way too hyped for that and I don't have any critique. That's so sick. Oh man. Holy fuck, can you send me this? So there's like maybe 2 minor critiques in terms of holy shit, wait, my lights got all fucked up from my dancing. That is definitely that's fire. So let me honestly, I don't really have any feedback, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah, what the fuck? That's like really good. I need to like re-listen in a more objective way, because I got really hyped. I mean, there's definitely, like I said, there's a few sounds throughout this, and probably with this lead where you're kind of pushing it with the high end. Your kick, there's moments where the kick, like towards the end, it's like punching through, but then there's some moments like in here. I don't know if maybe it's because you're doing reverse kicks, but there's moments where the kick kind of gets a little lost. And yeah, just the high end and the lead, I think you would just need to do some really surgical EQing. I feel like Naughty Step dislikes like 80% of snares. Okay, actually, I do think the snare, okay, like based on my first listen, it was good enough. I didn't notice it, but it's like if I'm listening back to the song looking for issues, it's like, yeah, the snare, it's a little bit weak, like there's not a lot of content going on. Like it's a clap, but I feel like it can maybe use a bright extra layer just to give it a little more depth. And then I saw what Dr. Lobster said about the kick transient, and it is a little questionable. Like, it's a little weird, but with everything going on, I didn't really notice it until I re-listened. I mean, I don't think it needs to be changed. I mean, like, maybe try out some different kicks, or I don't completely know what's going on with it, but it feels like it's just not super tight. I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal. I do think though the kick clap, I think the way that transient layers with the clap, it just doesn't. I would just work on fixing the kick clap, making it a little possibly less punchy, or just toning down the kick under it, and then making the clap just have a little more content in it, because it just feels like a very like dull clap being layered on that really punchy kick. Yeah, the more I listen to the kick clap, I don't like that actually. Also, I think compared to the first drop, I think the lead in this drop could be like a tiny bit brighter. But other than that, the arrangement's fucking sick. The way you have the like the pitch stuff going on there is sick. This track is fucking cool. This is definitely one of my favorite tracks I've heard in like the past month. So, yeah. Hope best of luck with wherever you send this. I'm sure it'll get picked up by someone, and yeah, I'd love to hear the final product if you'd be down to send it. But fucking yeah, this is sick. What's up, Rohan and Rhett? All right, who do we got next? We got Nico. Oh wait, no, we did Nico. We got Exit. Invasion V6. Just go in, my dude. Don't forget to wishlist Carlson or I take the future rhythm gun. All right. Very orchestral. The drums are weak. This feels like something needed to fill that gap. That was a little awkward. Yeah, and drums again are weak, just not punching through enough. Intro's emptier than my fridge. See, why am I bad at roasting? I need you to come in here and roast. And the drums have disappeared. They have left the building. They're just way too short and snappy. Yeah, your drums throughout, you just need some beefier, louder, longer drums. And yeah, I didn't notice it till Nico said it, but the trap pattern, it does feel like a little out of place. It just feels kind of random. So like I would either remove it and do something different, or like give it more of a reason to be there, if that makes sense. Because it just sounds like you're throwing a trap pattern on top of like your typical orchestral intro. And so it just feels like not really any like valid intention, you know? Ow. Yeah, that could definitely be it, actually. OTT on the master or something. And that's probably what's happening with the drums as well. Never put OTT on your master. Not a good idea. if you're gonna put multi-band compression on your master, you have to know what you're doing and be very intentional with it. And I mean, that's something, it's like when you start producing, it's like OTT is magic and it makes everything better. It's like what you're taught by every fucking YouTube tutorial out there. But like, no, use your OTT sparingly and definitely don't put it on on your master. Not saying that's what you did, but whatever's happening, yeah, the high end's too loud. Some things are sounding weirdly thin and compressed. Also, the sub needs to be a bit beefier and more present. Other than that, though, I mean, it fits the invasion vibe. Definitely like a good start, but yeah. I said what I had to have said. What do we got next? Oh wait, that's a Vanilla Jensen. Horizon. With, let's see. Exit. My time. Wait, didn't we just listen to Exit? I'm confused now. I'm gonna skip this one because we can't do two. Like, I want to give everybody a chance, and we have extra submissions, so I don't want to do two of the same artist. I am sorry. Yeah, that's illegal. All right, we got Eckley. I don't know. Overall production skills, I went a little experimental in the second half of the song. I'd love to hear some thoughts about that as well. All right, we got a fucking Chaos remix. I thought we were done with these. Yo, Cubic, I sent in a track called Homework. Just skip it because it's not good. I mean, okay, if you want, I will do. There's no exit from Exit. This is definitely, I appreciate the different intro. It's a different vibe to the Chaos. Exit, you sent in 2 tracks. So I only did one of them. That's fair. Wait, but aren't... okay, that's confusing. But it said it's by Exit. I don't know. I'll do it this one time, but next time, 1 track per artist. Okay? This is a really cool intro. I feel like a lot of the remixes, they didn't change up this section a lot. I like how you've kind of broken down the melody, made it more ethereal and epic. Oh, what up, Cosmos? Things are getting a little bit muddy here. And that kick is like kind of drowned out. Sounds like there's like a lot of noise. Yeah, there's just a lot of clashing frequencies here. You need to balance a little better. This new melody's cool though. I don't think the build does enough to build tension. It kind of gets a little mundane because it's a very long intro. So since it's such a long intro, you kind of need to be, I don't know, you need to be a bit more careful with your time. It's getting a little too long and subtle of a build up, if that makes sense. That's a little confusing. You gotta remember that people these days have short ass attention spans. You just had 2 minutes of intro, and then you go into the drop with the fake out, but then you do like 2 fake outs. So it's like you're just really blue ballsing the fuck out of people. And since you're still a small artist, you gotta remember that like people aren't always going to give you the time of day and listen to your whole track before making their decision. They're going to go in, scan through, or listen to the beginning, and if they're not hooked, they're going to move on. So you're doing a lot of drawing things out to a huge extent, and then honestly, for all of that buildup, the impact of the drop, like some of the sound design, I think it's a bit too noisy, and it's not gripping enough. But I do want to say I appreciate the experimentation, because a lot of people who did these remixes, they didn't, I mean, including myself, they didn't do that much experimentation. They didn't change up the format too much. I mean, this arrangement is like can be cool, but I really think like everything's just too noisy. The melody's dope, but it's just like noisy, raspy. It's not like clean, and I don't know. It's a kind of like somewhat amateur sound design. I love this part though. Yeah, really cool ideas. I think just the execution, like this part, for instance, or the contrast between this, like that's kind of a full sound, but then it gets kind of hollow for a second. I don't know how well that works. I think you need to work on your sound design a bit more, like figuring out how to give your sounds more depth and texture without it just sounding like raspy, messy noise. And then as cool as the experimentation is, you still have to kind of tie things and glue them back together a little better. There's just a lot of really cool experimental ideas, but they don't all work together well enough. Like it's just like you have this intro, and then you have the cool fake out, but then you have these other weird fake outs, and then like that breakdown is cool, but the drop before it doesn't like build the energy that would require such a long breakdown. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm not explaining it well enough. But you just have a lot of cool ideas, but they're a little bit like disconnected from each other. This is sick. What up, Blood Oath? Same thing here though. Really drawn out. This was really cool, but now it's just it's too drawn out. Like if I weren't giving feedback, I would honestly have clicked past it by now, because it's like cool ideas, but you got to learn to kind of pick and choose which ideas to keep, which ideas to draw out a bit, which to cut short. This should have been like 8 bars and then progressed a bit more. It's really pretty though. Six-minute song though. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool the way you flipped this track. And I definitely, like I said, I appreciate experimentation. Don't stop doing that. You just gotta you gotta tie things up a little better. 6 minutes is long, especially for if you're like people just going through SoundCloud and just finding a random person. It's like a lot to go through, and just like I said, some things feel too drawn out and you just kind of want to skip through it. But yeah, I'd also just, like I said, work on your sound design as well. We got Data Kid next with Samsung Yeeters. It's a funny name. This is due in an hour of you streaming. This is on the 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whatever critique you may have may be late. Also keep in mind my partner here is a noise producer. He makes songs with a BPM of 1,000 upwards. What the fuck? Okay. Hey, thank you, Avile. I appreciate that. I'm still like new to feedback streams, so like I hope I like do a good job and this is all helpful. So, thanks for the compliments. Oh, I like this intro. The 808 could be louder. And it's a little bit of a harsh sound, like the melody. Oh, that's way too quiet. That's extremely quiet. And it's very harsh. It sounds kind of cool. It's just the levels are all fucked up, man. And I'm scared to turn it up because it sounds like it's gonna hurt my ears. It's just like yeah, the drop is so confusing. I can't tell because it's like the sub is both there but not there. Oh god, the levels. Then the hi-hats are so loud after my ears are, but it's like the sub is both there and not. It's like the sub is taking up too much space, but then also not enough space. And then the lead sounds like it's both muffled and not muffled because it's very harsh. You've produced somehow like I don't know the right word. This is like breaking the laws of sound somehow. I don't know. This is better. There's still weird stuff with the way this is mixed though. This is actually kind of dope, but it's like giving me a headache, honestly. This Scooby-Doo sound effect.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be mean. It's all subjective, and this isn't really my style of music, but it's mainly just the mixing is really throwing me off. And some things are too loud, some things are way too quiet, some things just have weird dips in the way they're EQ'd, it sounds like. So, I mean, I know it's probably too late, but I honestly just don't even know what's going on with that, if I'm being honest. All right, we got Lunari next. Lunari's last tune that they sent in the previous stream blew my mind, so I'm fucking excited. A quick song made in quick time, nothing special. Greetings, Cubic. The official download by our... Blah, blah, blah. Greetings, Lunari. I'm sorry, Cosmos. Like, so basically, I do 25 submissions, and then anything after 25 submissions you have to send in like a $3 donation, in order to get feedback, and we already have so many overflowed. You'd have to either donate or just get me in the next feedback stream. Like, next feedback, if you don't want to donate, next feedback stream, I can let you know, like, when I post it so that you can get in. But I know you're a homie, but I can't give anyone special treatment, so you gotta donate, unfortunately. Ooh, that little melody. Hey, thanks, Blodo. So far, this is perfect. Well, there's some harsh frequencies in that. Actually, not too many. I like the fills, like that part is cool, but I think maybe it's just like the tonality of the like metallic lead thing just doesn't completely work in my opinion. Like, it's just like the response, I don't know. I think it's just the notes that it's playing just don't feel right. Yeah, and some of the little fill sounds are a little too quiet compared to others. Yeah, just with how melodic everything is. I mean, I get what you're going for, like the contrast, but I think the note that it's playing for the responses doesn't work. And but I mean, the metal sound is cool. Like, it's a cool sound. I just think the way it's being used isn't as well as it could be. think that the pluck being played here could be a little louder. Oh, that's cool. See, the drop sounds good in here. Here, I need to listen to this part again. I think this part, one, the hi-hat's taking up a lot of space, so I don't know if you have like some little ear candy, like little mini counter melodies and glitches in the background, and the hats are just covering it up. But I feel like in this part, just needs a little more like melodic ear candy. That distorted bass takes up so much space, and it doesn't hold a lot of like tonality. So I feel like just some little melodic, whether it's like counter melodies or just little fills here and there throughout this part, could just make it a little more interesting and a little more like feelsy. But overall, really cool start. I love the intro and beginning. I just think, like I said, the way that you use the metallic thing, I don't know if it's the tone or if it's the sub, but it just sounds a little bit off. But dope stuff from Lunari. All right, we got an enemy. Lean with it. Okay, so it sounds like you have a hi-hat layered on your kick, and it's kind of taking away from the punch of the kick. It just makes the kick kind of sound weird. And then the trap snare is like it's like just there for a quick second and gone. And then I think you need the sub to be a bit punchier, like maybe put like a pitch automation thing on it. Why can't I think of the word? But just make the sub a little punchier and more present, and then like EQ the lows, like do some mid-side EQing on the lows a little more. I'm honestly just not too much of a fan of the sound design of the lead. Yeah, what Kindly said, tonality of the main bass doesn't really work right, and that sustain that comes in, I don't think works. It like honestly sounds like you're playing the main bass like an octave too low. I think the melody overall works. It's just, yeah, the sound design of the lead and then the way it works with the sub just feels like kind of weird. Like I don't completely know what it is, but I would just completely rework the main bass. And you have some like weird low octave sustain going on there that it just, I don't know, it's not working. And now you got there's too much stuff going on the high end now. It's starting to hurt my ears a little bit. Because that pad thing in the background. You got a lot of clashing going on with some of these elements. Yeah, no hat on beat 1. Like, sometimes layering hats with your kick works, but just in this instance, I think just because of the kick you're using, it doesn't work. because it's just kind of ruining the punch and impact of your kick. And like that low octave sustain I was talking about, like it sounds like it's clashing with both the low end of your lead and the low end of your sub. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break and ear fatigue break because I think I'm starting to get ear fatigue. I'll be right back. Just give me a minute. Bear with me. Let me look who's next, just to let people know. So we got 5 more. We got a total of 34 submissions. So 8 of you guys, or wait, if I'm doing my math, 7 of you guys. I'm still doing my math wrong. Whatever. There's 34 people. I'm only doing 25 submissions, or maybe it was 26 because I skipped one. Or I skipped 2. I don't know. I'm just gonna read off the next couple people. So we got Baskets, Qzide, Humongous Chungus, Dennett Music, Dr. Lobster, and Rhett. And then everyone else missed the cut for the free feedback. So if you still want feedback, you can donate. And we just got one more submission. So there's no more submissions, but we're doing feedback streams every week, including this Sunday. So there'll be 2 streams this week. So if you missed out, you can always get the next stream or donate. But yeah, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. Thanks everyone for sticking with me. All right, I am back. I need to get my streaming shit worked out so I can have like a nice like music break street like screen for you guys, so you're not just like sitting here in silence. All right. Cubic floor reveal. All right, what did I miss? Yeah, be back soon screen. Yeah, usually I have the waveform thing. I can put it up real quick. Here, I'll put it up real quick. 1 second. You guys are gonna see the secrets. Just to spice things up a little bit. Oh no, don't kill my computer. Uh-oh. It is not. Okay, maybe I won't do it. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. All right. Let's see if it works. Wait, I might need to do one more thing. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. There we go. All right, we got the waveform. And I also got a cantaloupe because I'm hungry. So let's move on to the next tune. Oh, that's a long ass link. Holy shit. All right, we got my boy Baskets, a local homie. I always get nervous reviewing like IRL friends' music because I don't know, if I shit on their music, then I don't know. It's just, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. But I'm going to be honest and objective. We got Reincarnate. It's Wave. Let's get into it. Down, Spacey. Yeah, we gotta go skating one day in 3 years. Yeah, one day you can get a wall review. Ooh. I love Wave. Okay, so I don't listen to a lot of Wave. Also, I thought it was called Hard Wave, so maybe I've been thinking of it wrong. But I don't listen to a lot of it, so I don't know how good my feedback's going to be, so I'm going to have to replay it a couple times. Because it's just, like, you know, when you listen to, like, dubstep, for instance, there's different standards for, like, mix downs and things like that between genres. I think the sub needs more saturation in the low end. If you're in Ableton, throw on like the saturation preset called warm up lows, because there's not enough low end sub like punchiness or warmth. It also, now that I listen to it, it might be just a thing with the way the harmonics are working on that 808, because it just sounds like the harmonics, like the fundamental, feels a little too high, if that makes sense. Yeah, like right there, the 808 doesn't have enough power in the low end. Kindly, thanks for the donation. I'm assuming you submitted something that you would like me to go over next. Let me know. Also, new one dropping with the Rail Breakers next week, he said. Ooh. I love this. I do think your kick could have a little more boom to it as well. Like the kick's thumpy, but it's really tight and short. And I just think with this style, I think it could just have a little more of like a boomy transient. Especially right here, because there's not a lot of sub action. Like the sub sounds kind of stereo. Or the Reese. It works though, but I think in general, overall, maybe the whole entire track just needs a little warmth in the low end. This cool like dubstep pattern though kind of works.
Being alone doesn't scare me.
Okay, so the melodies here is cool, but there's a lot getting a little sporadic with like the call and responses. Like, I don't know how to explain, but there's like a lot of stuff just filtering in and out in a small space of time, and it was kind of hard for my brain to figure out what my attention was supposed to be on. Which that can be good when used right, but I think right there it was just too much. Also, so what's going on with my shirt is I have a blue screen because I have green glasses, and with my green screen I can never wear my green glasses. So I have a blue screen and my shirt's blue. That's what's going on. Ooh, those drums. Yeah, so again, the sub throughout, the bass line throughout is just a bit weak. I think right here you could have a grittier bass line, like even just like a saw to kind of fill in the lower end of the chords as well. Because right here it's starting to get to a point where it feels like there's just not enough content in the lower mids, like not enough harmonics.
Reincarnate.
There's a lot, this feels a lot more full than most of the song in this section. The snare's getting a little hidden though. And things are starting to sound a little raspy. This part's a little too loud, I think. It's cool. It's a cool outro though. Overall, really beautiful melodies. The arrangement's great. Other than that, there's like a few times where things were like filtering in and out a little bit. But a lot of the 808s and subs and bass lines in this felt a little bit lacking. And it did get a little bit to a point where a lot of the sounds started sounding a bit too raspy. Now I know like with this style of music, that's kind of a common thing, but I would just sprinkle some cleaner layers in there just to make things not feel all just like distorted and noisy. But other than that, that was cool. Really cool to see what you've been working on, and I love Wave, so I'm definitely looking forward for more. All right, so I never checked to see if what Kindly said. Okay, so did you send something in, Kindly? Let me try to find yours. Oh, I found it. All right. Thanks again for the donation, my dude. These donations really help because my unemployment is... Oh no, you didn't send a private link. So you're gonna want to resend the link. I don't know if it lets you resubmit on here. If it doesn't, you can DM me on Twitter, DM me on Discord, and just let me know, and I'll go catch the link for you. In the meantime, I'll go to someone else real quick. Let's see, who is next? I believe Kuzide. Yep. Yeah, I did end free submissions, ZFPtron. We got a lot of submissions. There's just a few. There's like 4 left, I believe, Duncan. Oh, this one's a quick one, so I might have time to do another. I think I'll just like, since we have a lot of extra free submissions, if we happen to get done before the 2 hours and 30 minutes mark, then I'll do a few more, or like 1 or 2 more. Ooh. I think the snare could be brighter. Other than that, though, this is gorgeous. Snare could be brighter, the hi-hat could be louder. Also, I feel like maybe some sort of subtle percussion in the right ear would be nice as well. But other than that, that's fucking gorgeous. Can't really go wrong with lo-fi. I feel you, Vile. Oh, let me message me on Discord, my bad. Oh, dude, all good. Let me find that. All right. We got Kindly with Tachibana, releasing on June 28th with Railbreakers. Let's go. Oh, also congrats on the Railbreakers release. I feel like this part could use a more pronounced sub or 808. It feels like kind of lacking in that area. Yeah, and this part kind of needs some white noise or something filling up the spectrum a little more. Like just a down sweep in the beginning. Or I guess it has one. Just maybe a different type. It just feels a little, just slightly too empty. This is pretty, but I feel like the chords need to be a little more like full, wide, and pronounced than they are. Because right now we have like the kind of heavier atonal thing on top, which is cool, and it creates a dope like dissonance. But yeah, the chords I feel like just need to fill it up a little more and add a little more energy, and they're just a bit too quiet. Oh, that's better. Also, I think your sub is a little lower than it could be. I think your snare needs to be a little brighter. like just bump up the EQ in the high end, or some maybe even some saturation after that. Just a subtle amount though. Also now hearing that melody, like that's from here, it like, you have that as the whole intro part, and it kind of leaves me wanting to hear that melody. Like, it feels a little disconnected from this. Like, I kind of was thinking that would be part of the drop. Ooh. Let me turn this up as well. That's sick. That was a really dope contrast. Wait, I need to re-listen. I just realized I just had this turned really low, so maybe that was also part of it. Oh, I'm dumb. I just had the whole song playing way too quietly. Okay, so that's actually a bit better. Like some of the stuff I said about the chords and stuff and the energy and fullness, but I do still think the sub could be a bit more saturated and louder. I don't know how well that ARP fill worked. It made it feel a little bit cheesy. I would maybe try a different pattern, or going down, or maybe just a different sound. Make it kind of like, instead of in the same range as the chord, have it like in a higher octave or something. So just a little more contrast. And I still think the same thing about the snare. I'm not really into the snare. See, I love that melody. I kind of want to hear it somewhere in the drop. Also, I think there could be like some spaces where you don't have the chords going. Like right there, like maybe have like some sort of glitch fill or something instead. And like you have some like melody, some parts of like the lead where you're walking up and down and the scale. I feel like you could do some sort of automation with the chords so that you can just hear that like melody, like playfulness just a little more clearly, because it kind of just hides in the background, which works, but I feel like you could just give it a little more attention for a second in those parts. But yeah, overall really pleasant song. Yeah, I like that. It's got a really melancholy vibe. Railbreakers, June 28th, people. Thanks for the submission. All right, next we've got Humongous Chungus. Official Chungus with the song Chungus by Humongous Chungus. I have Santiago. I always listen to New Brig. I'm assuming that's the newest one that was like color based. What is happening here? Ow! I can't tell if this is like a troll or if this is like you want feedback. I'm assuming it's a troll. Why do you guys enjoy doing this to my ears? His fucking vocals. Chungus is the new dubstep. Murata's been real quiet throughout this entire stream. Ow! It's hard to listen to that when it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes of nonstop music. We're gonna just move on to Dennett Music. Okay, we've got like 2 or 3 more submissions, and then we are donezo. Subtronics contest submission. I totally forgot about that contest. Hey, Subtronics commented on it. That's dope. Ooh, that's beautiful. I feel like the progression is a little slow. Like I feel like there could be a little more done to just keep things interesting, but the sound design I don't think is bright enough, but other than that, it's really cool. The tonality of that part's a little questionable. And also one thing, the vocal hits are like kind of brighter, and because they're brighter, they're kind of louder, like what's the word for it? Like perceivably louder feeling, I guess, or more in your face feeling than the leads of the drop. So I just want to point that out. This is a good, I forgot who it was earlier who had the vocoded leads and they felt too thin, but this is a good example of like how to layer and use your sub as well to kind of fill in the gaps for like vocoded leads, because this is really well layered. And yeah, even like that impact is kind of louder and brighter, at least, than most of the sounds in the drop. So I would just pay attention to that. But other than that, it's really sick drop. I really like that. Yeah, like this part feels a bit more full in the whole entire frequency range than the actual drop. So first off, you just want to make sure the drop's kind of louder. Like this is sitting almost seemingly higher than the drop is in terms of volume. So you want to have that stuff lower, and you just want to make sure you either make this feel less bright and like energetic than the drop, or make the drop feel more bright and energetic, because it's just the contrast of if everything before the drop is really bright and full, and then you hit the drop and it's not as bright and not as full, you just feel it more. And even if it's a dope drop, which it is, it just makes the drop perceivably feel not as like kind of weak. Really good arrangement. Ooh. But it's like that sustain, I'd want it to be way brighter. Really sick ideas though. And the chord progression is a really dope song. Just the mix down, like I'm saying, like the brightness. But other than that, really pleasant. I really like that. All right, we have Dr. Lobster, who's been in the chat most of the stream, but it's like one of the final submissions. I feel bad, but we got, oh, it's not Dr. Lobster. Is it worth $5? Boog. I love that name, and I love the album art. Boog. Beautiful. All right, I will tell you if it's worth $5. Am I the only one who doesn't know what boog is? Is this a meme that's just gone over my head? I'm a fucking boomer. God damn it. Moog and boob. Moog and boog make toog. Oh, is that a key change? Oh yeah, it's open season. Wait, that part was a little weird. Also, the kick I feel like needs to sit a little higher on the mix. Just a slight. It blends in too much with the leads. The rhythm of that part, that one little bar, kind of throws it off for a second. Whoa. Oh, I love the switch up. I feel like there needed to be a little bit better of a transition in that switch up, but it's a sick switch up. Also, those crashes are kind of making things a tiny bit muddy. Yeah, definitely a live slapper. Yeah, this is dope. Pair out drum and bass, or drum step. Take the minion pill. What the? What the? Why does this drop go off way more? Jesus Christ. I feel like we should just end the stream there. Holy fuck. I need to hear the first drop again because for some reason the second drop like got me way more. Oh, I didn't see this. Intentionally shit mixed due to Ableton amp. That's fair. All that matters is if it has energy. It definitely has the energy. Definitely, though, the second drop is like kind of the highlight. That has way more energy, in my opinion. It's because of those distorted things. That's fire. All right, we're going to do one more. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to do one more submission. Rhett, you lucky man. All right. Thanks for the submission, Dr. Lobster. I really want to see Boog live. I'm down. All right. So this is from Rhett's new EP, which you guys should go listen to because he's out here grinding, self-releasing some pretty decent stuff. All right. So Surface on the Existence EP. Let's give it a listen. A little bit of harsh frequencies there. The kick and snare could be louder. And the effects are a little too loud. The kick and snare should be sitting generally at the top of the mix. And effects should be generally closer to like the bottom. You threw the second drop together in 10 minutes? What the fuck? I'm responding to Dr. Lobster, not Rhett. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, I need to replay that, but I like the eeriness. There's just some slight muddiness going on with the reverbs. Like right here. There's too much. I hear like a riser or something. Shouldn't be any bass, like any sub frequencies in that, and there is. And that's just gonna take away from the impact of your drop. I love that part. There's some clipping going on, like right there, the kick clips. You just need to, I've told you before in previous feedback, and it's gotten better, and I need to just make a video on this already, because I'm always talking about mid-side EQing, but I haven't made a video on it. So in about a week or two, once I finish up some music, I'm going to do a bunch of production tutorials, and I think I'll make a video on it, because it's one of the biggest issues I notice with newer producers is just the stereo stuff going on in the low end can cause so much mud and issues in the mix. And so you just want to make sure you're controlling your sides and where and how much low end is occurring. Yeah, hit cam last, so I've been saying it for way too long. That's why I finally need to do it. I just keep getting too busy. Whoa, that's weird. So there's like I said, the reverb is making things muddy, but there's some really cool ideas in here with the tear out like style leads, especially. That's such a weird fill, but I like it. It's just the effects in the background are too loud. Oh, that's cool. That works a bit better too with the... Alright, so I like the switch, but your effects and the stuff in the background, it's like very obvious right here because it clips when it gets into it. And your snare's getting lost. Yeah, like those vocals in the background, and then there's some sort of ethereal pad or atmosphere. And it was the same issue with the build. Your effects are a little, like, a bit too loud, and you just have frequencies clashing. But the ideas are there. I think the main thing you need to do is work on your mix down. And then these are like weird experimental ideas, but I think they would work a lot better if it wasn't for the mix down issues. That's really pretty. And it's cool how everything ties together. Like your intro and your breakdown, they all have similar elements. Oh, this is cool. That's sick. And the drone. That's sick, dude. You just need to work on your mix down. But yeah, from everything I've heard from you, your ideas are dope. You just need mix down help. So good one, Rhett. Everyone go check out Rhett. He just dropped a whole EP and he's out there self-releasing. Only has 4 followers. He deserves more followers. So go check him out. Follow if you like it. What up, Deviate? You joined right at the end, unless you want to donate or anyone else wants to donate and send in a track. If not, that concludes today's feedback stream. We'll be doing another one on Sunday. I'm just doing this one today because I missed Sunday due to Father's Day. And it's been like 2 weeks that I missed feedback streams, so I didn't want to leave you all hanging. But yeah, thanks to everyone for sticking with me. I hope this was helpful. It's always fun doing these streams, and I 100% appreciate the donations because I'm about to have to find a job again. But hopefully maybe I can turn YouTube into a full-time thing before I have to. Who knows? But yeah, I will see you all soon for more videos. After I finish some music, I have like 2 songs I really need to finish this week. And then once I finish them, I'm planning on doing a bunch of production stuff. Like I'll still be doing music reviews, but I'm going to try to go hard on production tutorials and stuff. So hopefully you guys will all enjoy that. And yeah, I'll give it 1 second to see if anyone else is trying to send anything. But yeah, hope everyone has a great rest of their day. It's getting late for you. Hell yeah. Hey, glad it was fun. This is every feedback stream actually gets more and more fun. And I think I'm going to start calling them like critiquing your tracks or something else other than roasting your tracks, just because people, I feel like, expect me to like roast and I'm not always like funny enough. Here, let me see Hexix. If you happen to be next. Actually, here, yeah, I'll do yours, Hexix, because I know that you actually submitted earlier. Here, submit your track real quick because so every time I do a stream, I delete all the previous responses and then I announce it. So since you submitted earlier, I must have accidentally deleted yours. So just for future reference, also for everyone who tries to submit to the link after the stream, I always delete them all before I announce a new feedback stream. So just don't waste your time. Just follow me on Twitter or be in the Discord so you can stay up to date with that stuff, and then you can just be in there on time. But yeah, I will give you the final submission, Hexix, since I know you hit me up like yesterday talking about your submission. So technically you submitted before everyone. I will await your submission. It's 6:44 p.m. for me. And also for anyone waiting till Sunday, Sunday's feedback stream will be at 6 p.m. PST. And I'm going to start trying to announce feedback streams a day before so everyone gets a chance to see it instead of just like me doing it a few hours before. So, all right. I got Hexix's submit. Why can't I speak? Submission. All right. Final submission. Looking for feedback on feel, emotions, idea, production, structure, and sound design. All right. Oh, album track ID. Let's go. Definitely got the emotion. This is a subtle thing, but I would EQ the noise just a little bit in like the mids or low mids. Like just put a little bit of a dip. It just is a tiny bit too intrusive. Okay, so the build and everything before it feels basically equally as full in every spectrum as the drop, which I guess is fine for this section. But basically, there's almost no contrast between the build and the drop, other than like the drums. So you need to like thin out your build a little more coming into the drop. Also, I don't know what it is, but there's a click right here. Right at your snare. And the sub's getting a little bit lost. Like it's kind of feeling a bit washed out. There's just like a lot of different elements just full of a lot of noise. So you gotta kind of gotta pick and choose. And definitely the sub just feels kind of hidden and it might need another layer. Also, it sounds like maybe your snare has like too much low end. I can't tell, but there's like a stubby boom whenever your snare hits. I don't remember. You'd have to hit up Primal Rights about that. Like, just tweet him, Instagram DM him, or go to his Discord server or something. Well, yeah, it might be layered with the kick, but it feels like boomier than when the kick hits, if that makes sense. I love this part. It's almost got like an Owl City kind of vibe, like Owl City meets Nushi in terms of like the melodicity of the track. This one feels a little less washed out. But again, I think maybe you need like a nice gritty layer on the sub. The sub just feels very, like, I know it's there because the drop is full, but you just can't hear it at all. It just kind of still, it feels like a lot of noise. And I think that would just add a little more depth to the drop. It's just when you do a kick snare layer, it shouldn't, you want to mix it or mess with the transients and stuff so that it's not thumpier than the kick. Like, it should be still pretty equal, just like it would be if you just have a kick and a snare. Like, you don't want the kick snare to have a lower end boom that's boomier than the kick. It's just like a balancing act. That's pretty though. Like, it has mixing issues, but other than that, the whole idea is fleshed out and it's beautiful. Well, on that, we're going to end the stream, everybody. Thanks for being with me on this fine Tuesday evening. I hope my feedback was helpful, and I will see you guys soon in either another video or on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for more feedback. Hope everyone has a great rest of their night, and yeah, my name is Qbik as always. Feel free to go check out my music, since I spent 3 hours checking out your music. But yeah, and Rhett is crying. Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to end the stream now. Mwah.